Since taking office, President Trump worked hard to secure Pastor Brunson's release. He was joined by family, friends, and lawmakers in the West Wing here behind me to celebrate his safe return.
From a Turkish prison to the White House in 24 hours. That's not bad.
President Trump welcomed Pastor Andrew Brunson to the White House after spending 2 years as a prisoner in Turkey. The Christian minister said he never lost faith during his imprisonment and even prayed for the commander-in-chief.
We pray for you often.
Thank you.
As a family, my wife and I pray for you.
Thank you. Well, I probably more than anybody in this room.
The North Carolina native then knelt in the Oval Office, placed his hands on the president, and asked God to protect Trump.
Lord God, I ask that you pour out your Holy Spirit on President Trump, that you give him supernatural wisdom.
Turkish authorities charged Brunson with terrorism and espionage connected to an attempted coup. Facing 35 years in prison, Brunson denied any involvement during his trial. From the beginning, the American Center for Law and Justice fought for his release.
This has been a very difficult process. It eased somewhat when he was put under house arrest back in July, but he'd already been in prison then since October of 2016.
The Trump White House took a tough stance, slapping economic sanctions on Turkey. Then, in a stunning move Friday, a Turkish court sentenced Pastor Brunson to time served and released him. Tony, you were with Pastor Brunson when he landed back home here in the U.S. Walk me through that experience.
The first was the relief when we cleared Turkish airspace. When we were in the plane, the wheels were up and we had cleared that space, and there was a sense that he was going home.
Tony Perkins is president of the Family Research Council and a member of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. He accompanied Pastor Brunson from the courtroom in Turkey all the way back to the U.S. Now, Tony, what message does this send to Christians who are being persecuted all around the world?
Persecuted people around the world gained hope because they know they're not alone. They know this administration has placed a priority on that.
Pastor Brunson says he now plans to spend time with family and holds no ill will to the Turkish people.
I won't ask you whether or not you're going back to Turkey. I won't ask that question.
We do love Turkey. We were there for 25 years, and we love the Turkish people.
President Trump insisted there was no deal with the Turks for the return of Pastor Brunson and pushed back on reports he agreed to lift sanctions. It's even reported that in August, Trump called for a plan to be drawn for removal of all diplomats in Turkey, which would have shattered relations with the NATO ally. Ben Kennedy, CBN News.